On her way to a dinner party, Emily is talking to her boyfriend Kevin. However, she suddenly loses connection and the call ends. Emily checks her phone and is shocked to find the screen broken. When she makes it to her friend's house, she shows them the phone and concludes this is linked to the comet that will pass by Earth tonight, since they said on the news that it could cause things like this. Her friends think the idea is ridiculous and change the subject to give her a warning. As A+1, their friend Amir will bring Lori, who used to date Emily's boyfriend. Beth tells her that if she needs something to help her deal with this, she's prepared a relaxing concoction by mixing some herbs with a touch of ketamine. Soon Kevin also arrives and asks Emily to talk in private. He'll be going to Vietnam for 4 months on a business trip and needs to know if Emily will come with him since he needs to book the tickets and the hotel. However, Emily is still hesitant and doesn't have an answer yet. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Amir and Lori, who makes things quite awkward. During dinner, the group realizes that nobody has service and Emily blames it on the comet again. Everyone is skeptical, so she shares the story of a comet that flew over Finland in 1923. It caused people to act crazy, like forgetting things or ending up in the wrong house. There was one woman who called the police to tell them that the man in her house wasn't her husband because she had killed the real one, but the police couldn't arrest her because her husband was right there. At that moment, Beth's husband Hugh discovers that his phone screen is broken. While Emily blames it on the comet again, Hugh says he has to contact his brother. Since the house doesn't have a landline and none of the cell phones have service, Hugh asks to use the computer, but they discover that the internet isn't working either. Suddenly the power goes out, so the group quickly lights a bunch of candles. They also have glow sticks in 3 colors and choose to open the blue box. Mike looks outside and discovers that the whole neighborhood lost power except for one single house 2 blocks up. Now everyone is curious, so they go outside to take a look too. They cross a particularly dark area on the street and see the house Mike mentioned in the distance. When they look up, they also see the glowing comet. The group then goes back inside and notices a broken glass on the table, which is strange because nobody knocked it over. Hugh wonders if the other house has a working phone and reveals that his brother is a physicist who told him to call if anything strange happened tonight. Amir agrees to go with him to the other house for safety. After the duo is gone, Emily shares that this comet passed over 100 years ago. However, it was much farther so it didn't cause any trouble. Since tonight it's closer, it reminds Emily of the Tunguska event in 1908. It was a comet that entered the atmosphere over Siberia and exploded, flattening trees for hundreds of miles and wiping out the tiny population. Suddenly someone pounds on the front door. Kevin grabs a bat and opens it just enough to take a look, but there's nobody outside. Beth realizes Amir and Hugh are taking too long and wants to go looking for her husband, but the others think it's a bad idea. At that moment the power returns to the house because Mike has turned on the generator. Then they hear the bell so Kevin opens the door, but it's just Amir and Hugh. Amir has a strange box and Hugh has a wound on his forehead. Apparently Hugh approached the other house from the side and saw something shocking, but he won't explain what. Amir says he grabbed the box because he saw Hugh touch it, but Hugh has no idea what he's talking about. Mike opens the box and finds a ping pong paddle with a bunch of pictures. Surprisingly, there's a photo for each member of the group. On their back, there are numbers in red. The friends are worried about what this may mean, so they force Hugh to share what he saw. Hugh explains that he knocked on the other house's door but nobody came out. He went to the side to look through the window and saw a house exactly like this one, including a table set up for 8 people. The group thinks that the duo got lost and walked in a circle around this house, so it was they who knocked on this door. Hugh denies it and announces he'll go back to the other house to ask for a phone, but first he'll write a note for the other residents. While he's still writing, they hear a strange noise outside. Amir looks out the window and sees a big guy at the door. By the time Kevin opens it, the person is already gone, but he left behind a note. To everyone's shock, it's exactly the same note Hugh is writing now. Afterward, Beth takes care of Hugh's wound and Mike's wife Lee makes him choose between 2 types of band-aids. Meanwhile, the group looks at the pictures and notices that Emily's and Kevin's are halves of the same photo. Emily uses a red marker and a notebook to write all the numbers from the pictures with the corresponding names, but there's no pattern. Amir then notices that his picture was taken today because it shows the same sweater he's wearing now, and he bought it today. A closer look at the background confirms it was taken in this house. While the group leaves the room to get a drink, Emily tells Kevin that the numbers on the photos are her handwriting, which she proves by comparing them to her notes. After some more arguing, the friends decide to split. 4 of them will wait at home while the other 4 investigate. Using the blue glow sticks, half of the group goes outside and crosses the extra dark area to reach the other house. Mike immediately notices it looks exactly like his own house and peeks through the window to see Lee and a few friends inside. At that moment they hear someone coming, so the group gets moving again. As they cross the dark area, they see 4 people across the street. It's another version of themselves, looking exactly the same but with red glow sticks. Both groups stare at each other for a second before running back to their respective houses. At home, the other half of the group has trouble believing the story. Amir and Hugh keep glancing at the boxes of glow sticks and have a word in private while the others argue about what to do. Since there's no internet, Emily wants to look at some science books, but Mike doesn't have any. Then Beth remembers that Hugh's brother left a book at home, so she put it in an envelope and left it in the car to deliver it later. Hugh and Kevin go to get the book while the others wonder if they should wake Lee up from her nap. When the duo comes back with the book, they discover its title is Gravitation. At first they think it's useless, but inside they find Hugh's brother's lesson plan titled Decoherence and Schrödinger's cat. Hugh explains that Schrödinger's cat is a thought experiment. There's a cat with a vial of poison in a box with 50-50 chances of living. Regular physics says that the cat is either alive or dead, but quantum physics says that both realities exist simultaneously. When someone opens the box, those realities collapse into a single event. However, there's another theory. Two states continue to exist separately from each other, creating different realities based on the different outcomes. Quantum decoherence ensures that those outcomes don't interact with each other. The group concludes that the comet is causing them to see another reality, but they don't know if they'll stay separated like in the second theory or one will collapse like in the first one. An argument ensues and Mike concludes he has to kill their other self so his reality will be the surviving one. Mike used to be an alcoholic, so if his other self is drinking, he may be dangerous. Trying to make sense of this, the group asks what Mike saw in the other house, so Mike mentions Hugh, Amir, and Lee. However, their Lee is currently taking a nap, which means that in the other house Beth is the one napping and therefore they don't know about the book yet. Mike thinks they should go to the other Hugh's car and steal the book so the other house won't get the same ideas, but Hugh refuses to give him his keys. At that moment Lee wakes up. While the others tell her what happened, Mike talks to Kevin in private and says he wants to go to the other house. He plans to blackmail his other self to make him stop the other group from getting the book. Kevin thinks it's a bad idea but Mike ignores him. Meanwhile, Lee says she's still a bit woozy from the drops. Beth admits she gave her some of her concoction to help her sleep, but she says she asked for it. The whole group freaks out as they wonder if Beth put the concoction in their food, so this weird incident could be a hallucination. Beth swears she didn't and goes to the kitchen to show them the bottle, reminding them that to reach that state of mind they would have to drink the whole thing. And even then it wouldn't be enough because she only used a few drops of ketamine in the herbal mixture. Besides, even if it was a hallucination, 8 people can't possibly imagine the exact same thing. While everyone argues in the kitchen, Hugh and Amir return to the dining room and pull out their glow sticks, revealing they're red. They're actually the duo from the other house and the original never came back. They grab the box with the pictures and the book and leave. Then Mike enters the house and Kevin realizes he didn't notice he was gone. Mike explains he considered stealing the other book but he didn't do it, so instead he left a letter for himself. Kevin can't understand how he did all that in 5 minutes, but Mike swears he was gone for 45. Tired of this, Mike decides to start drinking again. The others notice that Amir, Hugh, the box, and the book are gone and realize that those two were acting strangely since they returned. Kevin wants to go looking for them, but Emily doesn't let him leave. In the kitchen, Lee does the dishes while she admits that she's scared of Mike drinking again. Beth comforts her while taking an injection of the concoction. In another room, Lori flirts with Kevin while claiming to support him against Emily's attitude. Suddenly she kisses him, but Kevin pushes her off. All this is overheard by Beth. Meanwhile, Emily realizes that if the pictures were in the other house, they should have the same ones here. Mike brings their old vacation photos, but she doesn't dare to cut the one with her and Kevin. At that moment she's approached by Beth, who tells her everything happens for a reason. In the kitchen, Mike looks for more wine and Lee uses the chance to talk to him. She tells him he doesn't have to lose it like this because there's no way anybody in other realities can love him as much as she does here. This makes Mike admit he made a mistake. At the same time, Emily tries to talk to Mike because Beth told her what she heard, but he doesn't want to discuss it. Suddenly the power goes out again and the group rushes to light more candles. Then they hear a car window breaking, so they agree to go out all together to investigate. Outside, they discover that the window on Hugh's car was smashed, but nothing was taken or left behind. While everyone is distracted, Emily goes to her car to grab a ring from her glove compartment. She puts it on before she's startled by Kevin checking on her. Emily reminisces about the time he gifted her this ring and hugs him. Then she asks if they found any clues on Hugh's car, but Kevin doesn't know what she's talking about. Emily is horrified to realize this is a Kevin from another reality, so she returns to the house and notices not everyone is back yet. The group wonders why their copies broke the window since the book was already gone. Kevin asks where Emily was and she shows him the ring, confirming that she talked to a different Kevin before. At that moment they hear another noise and look out of the window to see Hugh and Amir approaching the house. Their glow sticks are blue, so they open the door for them. Hugh and Amir drop the book on the table and share what happened, but it's the same story as before. Their friends ask them why they're repeating things, but the duo swears they didn't return to this house since they left the first time. Lee notices that Hugh has a different band-aid and the duo pulls out red glow sticks they found in the other house, so they have both blue and red. The group realizes that the Hugh and Amir from before were from the other reality. Amir tells Mike that his other self is worried about him. They discuss the matter of notes and Hugh reveals that the other house also had 2 of them. This means they've been interacting with multiple realities, not just one. The group decides they need to mark the house so they know which one is theirs, but it must be random so the other houses can't copy them. Soon they come up with the idea of rolling dice, then each of them only gets one random number. As soon as they finish saying it, they realize those were the numbers on the photos, which means the other house already did this. Amir takes a picture now and Lee finds a box in the back that also looks like the one from the other house. Emily is still hesitant to cut the picture of her and Kevin, so Lori reveals she still has a photo of Kevin in her wallet because she wrote her checking account number on it. This inspires Emily to finally cut the picture. Everyone rolls a die and Emily writes the numbers on the pictures using a blue marker. Amir works in online security and tells them the concept of a quick code used for extra security, so he thinks they should add a random object into the box as well. This explains the paddle they saw before, but this group chooses a coaster. After everyone has rolled, Emily tries to compare the numbers with the ones she wrote from the other house, only to discover that her old notes are in green. This means she's come to the wrong house. Hugh is using his phone to calculate possibilities and Emily notices that his screen isn't broken. A terrified Emily asks people from their numbers and some of the answers match the old notes, not the new ones. She talks to Mike in private to tell him that the group here is from different realities, and she theorizes that the super dark area outside caused it. If someone crosses that spot, they will be sent to a reality at random. Emily wants to return to her reality before the comet is gone, otherwise she'll be stuck here. Mike points out that if the dark area truly is random, they can't find their way back. Suddenly they hear a noise at the door and a note is slipped under it. Hugh picks it up and reads Beth plus book equals Trinidad Club, don't let it happen. Kevin tells the group about Mike's silly blackmail idea and tries to change the subject, but Hugh wants to know why Beth's name is on this. She refuses to answer, however her nose starts bleeding so she has no choice but to confess. She and Mike had a naughty night 12 years ago. Hugh freaks out as he realizes that everyone knew except for him. The group tries to explain that Mike told them he already talked to Hugh about it, so they thought it was solved. Mike asks Hugh to show them his phone, confirming it isn't broken. He then asks everyone what object they saw in the first box and each person answers something different, which means they're all from different realities. Hugh says that in his reality, his best friend didn't get dirty with his wife, but Mike points out that the incident started today so all the Beths out there cheated on him. A furious Hugh jumps on Mike and starts beating him up, so the others have to pull him away. Mike wonders if he's now stuck in this dimension with his bad choices. Suddenly a Mike with a green glowstick bursts into the house and attacks his other self. When the other guys try to stop him, the second Mike runs away. Now the first Mike is unconscious, Beth's nosebleed gets worse, and Lori has a panic attack. Emily checks the door and finds another copy of the first note. Tired of all this chaos, she leaves the house. Afterward Emily crosses the dark area multiple times to look at the different versions of the house. In the first one, her other self is in a bad mood and snapping at everyone. In the second one, everyone is yelling angrily at each other because they can't tell who is real and who isn't. In the third house, she sees some of the guys tied up. In the fourth one, Kevin and Lori are back together. At that moment Emily sees the comet in the sky and follows its trajectory to a reality where the group is happily chatting, unaware of what's going on outside. The other Emily seems to be happy with Kevin, so this Emily sneaks inside through the back door and steals Beth's concoction. Seconds later, the group in this reality hears a noise and comes outside to find the window in Hugh's car broken, which means Emily did it. When the other Emily goes to her car to get the ring, main Emily surprises her from behind and puts her to sleep by using Beth's concoction. She leaves the body in the back seat and takes her jacket before going back inside. When she sees Kevin again, she shows him the ring and happily kisses him. The others wonder what she was doing, so she makes up an excuse about the beautiful view outside. Her friends go out and watch the comet breaking up in the sky. At that moment the other Emily weakly crawls back into the house and reaches the bathroom. Main Emily follows her and hits her with the toilet lid to kill her, then she hides the body in the tub. When she looks at her hand she realizes she lost the ring in the struggle, so she takes the one from the body and cleans the bloodstains before leaving. In the living room, Emily feels too dizzy and passes out. The next morning Emily wakes up on the couch and realizes she's successfully stayed in this reality. When she goes to the bathroom she sees Beth coming out of the shower, so she assumes the other Emily disappeared when the realities collapsed in a single event. To be sure, she goes outside and sees Hugh's car with the broken window and the book still on the seat. Kevin comes to check on her and reveals he's found the ring in the bathroom, so now Emily has two. At that moment Kevin's phone rings and he's surprised to see Emily's name on the screen. He takes the call and his face turns serious when he hears Emily's voice.